Okay, imagine this. It's the early 1970s. You're Elvis Presley. You're at Graceland, maybe wandering around in your pajamas. Suddenly there's a snake. What do?
Uh-huh.
Well, if you're Elvis, you do something. Well, truly unforgettable. And honestly, kind of unbelievable.
Definitely unbelievable territory.
Exactly. So today, we're doing a deep dive into this one specific, pretty bizarre moment from Elvis's life. It involves, yes, a gun, that snake, and a tree.
Right.
And our mission here is really to pull out the important nuggets of insight from this, let's face it, wild story.
Yeah.
And we're using firsthand accounts, people who were right there with him.
Yeah, the people closest to him.
So let's set the scene a bit more. Early 70s, Graceland.
Mm-hmm.
This was the time when Elvis was, well, becoming more isolated.
Mm-hmm. And people who knew him well said he was often, let's say, under the influence. That's the context here.
Right. So one afternoon, he's apparently still in his pajamas, barefoot. One of his bodyguards, Al Strada, longtime guy, he spots a little snake climbing a tree in the yard.
Just a small garden snake, apparently.
And he points it out to Elvis. Now, most people, you see a snake, maybe back away or just ignore it.
Yeah, or call someone, maybe.
But not Elvis. No way. He sees this as, I don't know, an invasion. He grabs a gun.
Just grabs a gun.
Runs outside, still in his PJs, and just empties the entire clip into the tree. The tree.
Into the tree itself. Not even really at the snake from the sounds of it.
Exactly. And guess what? The snake, totally unharmed, just slithers away.
Missed completely.
But Elvis, oh, he's beaming. Turns to his guys, Al Strada and whoever else was there, and says, did you see that? Ain't nobody gonna mess with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, he actually accomplished something heroic.
Right. And this story, I mean, Al Strada told it in detail. It's documented in that book, Revelations from the Memphis Mafia. But it also kind of fits with things others close to him, like Sonny West or Joe Esposito, mentioned about his unpredictable behavior around then.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here, I think, is that this moment, it sounds completely made up, doesn't it? Like something from a, I don't know, a comedy sketch.
Yeah.
But it actually happened. And it wasn't just some, funny little anecdote to laugh off. It gives us a really direct, almost stark glimpse into the kind of impulsive behavior, the unpredictability that was becoming more and more common for Elvis in those later years.
You really can picture it, can't you? Like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Elvis, plaid pajamas maybe, sunglasses on probably.
Oh, he had the sunglasses on.
Right. Blasting away at this poor tree while the snake just casually escapes. It's absurdly funny on one level.
It is.
But you're saying there's more to it than just, haha, Elvis being weird. There's something deeper, maybe even a bit tragic going on.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, if we connect this to the bigger picture of his life, then this wasn't really about the snake.
Okay.
Think about it. The snake, traditionally, it's a symbol, temptation, danger, that sort of thing. But was the snake the actual threat here? Probably not.
So what was it then?
Perhaps Elvis just needed something to shoot at, anything, This whole incident, it really speaks volumes about a man who is increasingly surrounded by people who either couldn't or maybe wouldn't say no to him.
The famous yes men.
Exactly. And we know it's well documented. His dependence on prescription meds was a huge issue by this time. People close to him described him as restless, sometimes paranoid, very quick to act on impulse.
Wow.
So the snake, it wasn't the reason. It was more like the day's excuse, a convenient target for all the stuff churning inside him. His internal turmoil needed an outlet.
Wow. So, okay, putting it all together, what does this mean? It is funny. The image is just bizarre. But it's also kind of sad, tragic even, like you said. One of those surreal moments that, yeah, probably could only happen at Graceland.
Right.
That image of him, though, after the shooting stops, gun in hand, beaming like he won, it's almost a caricature. But what's the real takeaway? Beyond the absurdity, what's this telling us about Elvis right then?
Well, I think what this bizarre little story really shows us isn't just, quirky Elvises. It's more like a stark symptom of him starting to unravel. It's this incredibly vivid snapshot of how a man, incredibly famous, but also incredibly isolated and definitely battling inner demons, could project all that turmoil onto the most, mundane external threat, like a little garden snake.
So the snake wasn't really the target at all.
Not really. Maybe the target was his own feeling of powerlessness or maybe a lack of control in other parts of his life. It just reminds us that, the king of rock and roll was still a human being.
Yeah.
Human being with flaws, with fears, and, yes, apparently access to a whole lot of firepower.
Huh. Only Elvis, right. Only Elvis can turn a regular backyard snake into some kind of Wild West showdown
Pretty much.
and then walk away puffing his chest out like he just saved the entire property.
Uh-huh.
It really makes you wonder about everything else going on behind those Graceland walls, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
And it raises a pretty interesting question, maybe for you listening. What snakes are we sometimes trying to shoot at in our own lives, When the real battle, the real issue, is actually happening somewhere else entirely. Something to think about.